Today's episode is all about choosing pleasure, experiencing peace, and elevating your mindset every day. What's good, Elevation Nation, and welcome to the Elevated Podcast, where it means inner tugging and we elevate emerging leaders in self-awareness, love, and leadership. I'm your host, Christian Johnson, Christian F. Johnson. Are you ready, Elevation Nation? Then let's go. Listen, I need you to say this with me. I choose pleasure, I experience peace, and my mind is elevated every day. I want you to say that again with me. I choose pleasure, I experience peace, and my mind is elevated every day. Let's go straight at this. Choosing pleasure. Listen, I invite you to choose pleasure, to choose to enjoy the journey. And I'm speaking about that inner journey, along with the outer journey, right? Both the inside and the outside. Because as we've said before on the Elevated Podcast, that your outside world is just a reflection of what's going on within you. And so choosing that pleasure, it's a daily practice. And that doesn't just mean a physical pleasure, even though physical pleasure is amazing, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, sexually, and all the other release. No, let me stop. But seriously, it's about going beyond the physical and finding joy and beauty in the small things. I'm talking about the everyday moments. Come on and say that with me. Everyday moments. I'm talking about sometimes the subtle things, and we have to appreciate the moment that is before us, right? So there's benefits to this as we are choosing pleasure. You may have heard this before, but like attracts like. If you're taking notes, if you're typing in the comment section, or if you were just one who believes that life and death is in the power of the tongue and you believe that you can speak things as though they are, I need you to realize that as you think in your heart, which is connected to your mind, as you speak things, as you reflect on these things, that as you are doing these consistently and you choose pleasure on a consistent basis, you are also attracting more of it. I'll say that again. Like attracts like. So as you're thinking, as you're believing, as you're feeling, as you are in that space, right? And you're choosing pleasure, you also attract more of it. I don't need to say what happens on the opposite of that, but that's polarity. So if you come into the place and believing that you can attract the positive things, that just encourages us to stay there and not think about anything that is more lower level in our thinking and our believing and our feelings, even in our area of our actions. All right. So choosing to experience and embody pleasure, it elevates our vibration, our vibes. And when we're in this state of joy, that's where there's more fulfillment. We're more connected to our purpose, so to speak, and we're in that place of the present, in the now. It's that now faith that comes into that place, right? So I want us to I encourage us to be at a place where we are appreciating that moment that is right there, that moment that is currently before us. And not to rush past that, but to process that and realize that there's some things that we can put into place. And listen, this is what I want you to go ahead and do. I want you to think about this exercise, right? As a place of gratitude. It's the newest exercise, meditative exercise that I have really been enjoying. I hear Lanisha said that she's tried it before, but we call it warming from within. And it's a practical suggestion that I'm going to give you right now. I want you to look, you see how I have right now? Be careful because it's over top my laptop. My cup of of stuff, right? I prefer warm, but you can take water, you can take tea, you can take coffee, and you can sit there and you can close your eyes and you can take a sip. And as you have that sip, The warmth goes all through your body. And I'm telling you, if you never tried it before, you can be at that place where you are in a meditative state, you are reflecting, you are quiet, you are allowing that warmth, that you taste the flavor of whatever it is that you have, whether it's water, put some lemon in it, whatever the case, whatever is pleasing to your taste buds. And then it's warm and you swallow that and it travels all through your body and you can just trace it and you can just go ahead and follow it all through your body till you can't feel it anymore. And you can do that again a couple of times. I'm telling you, as you're breathing, as you're being present, that's being present in the moment. That warmth, that love, that joy, the smile that comes across your face, that warm cup of coffee, right? It's that warming from within. And that's just something simple that you can go ahead and try. Go ahead and try it out. Let us know what you think and feel about that, right? As you do that, I'm telling you, it'll put you in a place of peace. It puts you in a place where you're just kind of resetting and being able to open to whatever the divine wants to place there from you. And you can sit there for 5 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and it will put you in a great space. All right. So you go ahead and try it. I want you to try that. Right. So also, I want you to make pleasure your priority. And so not only are you going to go ahead and take that warmth from within and do that exercise, but I also want you to check in with yourself and ask yourself what brings you joy and what gives you pleasure. I mean, think about it. Sometimes we move all throughout and we see things and we're operating and we're like, okay, well, this is cool for this season. This is cool for that season. Or we're so busy, and this is a great thing, but we're so busy helping others, serving others, loving on others that sometimes we don't realize what has given us pleasure, what has given us joy. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to ask yourself, where can I choose pleasure today? What small things can I do to bring just a little more joy, a little more fulfillment in my daily routine? And write those things down and reflect on these things. It's about that routine. It's about reflecting. It's about being in a place, in a space where you are at peace. And that's what the second part about this is, right? We have to experience peace. What we choose to, we get to experience peace. And so what does that mean, right? When we're experiencing peace, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything has to be perfect, right? But what it does mean is that we're grounding and centering and aligning with the divine, with the Christ mind in our thoughts and our words, our beliefs, our feelings, and our actions, right? We're connected to the divine and our knower, knowing that regardless of our surroundings, regardless of what's going on in the natural, regardless what's going on in the news, regardless of what's going on outside of you, it's choosing to stay connected and aligned with the divine. And that's that place, that's that inner peace that you can experience that surpasses all understanding. All, you know what, can be breaking loose and having havoc in the city, in the town, in your development, on a job. It doesn't matter. You can have that peace and choose that area of that peace, regardless of what those situations are going, regardless of what's going on outside of you. So we have to take responsibility for that, because sometimes I believe that we give people power. I'm one who has done it. You made me do this, or you did this, or this would happen, and it. No, we allow those things to take place and happen, and that same power that we give is the same power that we can take back and totally operate from a place of peace. I dare you to breathe that in. Just take a deep breath right there. Just and breathe that thing out. Because when that takes place, we're able to respond to challenges rather than react to them. Oh, that's good right there. But even though there's benefits to inner peace, or you know this. So let me remind you, the mental and the physical benefits, right? We're talking about that daily peace of mind, that reduced stress, greater clarity, different sense of perspective, that sense of calm that's tied to peace, right? That inner peace, it keeps us in a line with our true selves. And there's also some daily practices that we can also do to stay aligned with the divine. And we just did one of them, deep breathing. Doing your breath work, right? Morning meditation, affirmative prayer, affirmations, or even just quiet reflections to start and end the day. I promise you, after I am done with this elevated podcast, I am going to a space of quietness, of stillness, and deep breathe and reflect and empty what no longer serves me anymore. And you can have an amazing time of rest. And listen, that's something that doesn't cost you anything but time and breath. And you can do that at any given moment. You can do that in the car. You can do that in the bedroom. You can do that on a walk. You have full access. It's a gift fully given to you, but we have to apply those things so that we can get the benefits of that. All right, cool. So let's continue on with this. Right. So now, for us to stay in this place of peace, we have to know that it's really important for us to let go of what doesn't serve us. You've heard me say this before. I just said it not too long ago because it's a part of my daily practice. And whatever is limiting beliefs or grudges or anxieties, what is not serving us, what's no longer serving us, we have to be willing to let those things go, because sometimes that can rob us from our peace. That can rob us from being present. That can rob us from operating in our purpose and fullness of that. So I want you to be encouraged in that place, just to sit with that and be still and know the I am God that is within you, around you, amongst you, and dwelling. All right. It God, it is. It just is, right? And so knowing that that those higher thoughts of love and power and peace and love that are within you, around you, and amongst you as well, and you cooperating with the divine, that you can let go of. You can choose to let go of those limiting beliefs and those grudges and those anxieties, because they don't truly belong for us. We can experience them, but we can just go ahead and let them things pass. As I had made a post, I made a post earlier talking about the area of of access denied. And so that's that time and place where you can realize that, you know what, these feelings, these beliefs, these things that are happening in my body and my mind, so forth and so on, that I can at any given moment can say access denied, that it no longer has access to my heart, to my beliefs, to my family, to anything that's going on in the inside or outside. As I am believing those things, that I can release those things as quickly as I've identified them and I held on to them. I don't have to own them. I don't have to be fully engaged in with them. That any given time I can release that and let it go. So I don't know who that's for. Maybe you in the third row over there, but you can release those things. As a matter of fact, releasing those things is one of the most healthiest things that we can do. And so that's what I encourage you to do. Go ahead and ask yourself, what brings you a sense of peace? Right? What brings you peace? Think about it. Embrace the silence. And how can you create more space for that peace in your daily routines? Like, process that as well. Also think about, what will you, or what are you willing to release that no longer serves you? That can be a daily practice for you. Okay? Because that's going to help us for this next part. And the next part is elevating your mind daily. So, as we are committing to elevate our mind, we have to realize that there's so much power in that elevated mindset. And I meant elevated and not elevate it that time, right? But an elevated mindset is all about consciously choosing thoughts that serve our highest good and continue to uplift our potential. I'm talking about operating from Christ consciousness. I'm talking about aligning with the divine. I'm talking about being at a place where you are actually fully committed to things that are pure, prosperous, and are of a good report. And this requires for us to guard our minds really against any negative influences or focuses that takes our thoughts captive, and that hinders us from growing or being positive in the area of abundance. And that's what that's a simple one, but it's also profound when it comes to those things. But understanding that there's benefits to that as well, and realizing that that elevated mindset is one that helps to transform how we approach those challenges, and it transforms our relationships and our goals and our intentions, and helps us to see opportunities versus obstacles. I will look into that. I'll say that again. I'll look you right there in the face and let you know that this will help you. It will help me. It will help us to see opportunities other than obstacles. Okay. And so when we're looking with that different lens, that shift of perspective, right? That's a whole different energy right there, right? That elevated mindset, it leads us to better decision making. It causes healthier relationships, a healthier mindset, healthier being in every aspect of our movement, right? And it allows us to have more fulfillment in life. And that's a great thing for us to deal with. And so, a quick tips for us to continue to operate from that elevated mindset is daily affirmations. Come on, you can put some I ams in your heart and your mind, saying that you're the head and not the tail, above only not beneath, that you can come from the place of realizing that, my life is a life of God. You can come from an area and really process these things and think about them. Just think on these things. Feed your mind with inspiring content. So that's whether reading a good book, which I love. Actually, I love to listen to a good book. Reading as well. Listening to a good podcast. Hint, hint, hint. But this isn't the only one. There are tons of them that are out there. Spending time with higher-minded people who are choosing to vibe high, choosing to uplift, choosing to be positive, and be careful about that. Some of y'all might need to pull your cell phones out and do a delete praise, and realize that for this particular season that you're walking into, that some of these people can't go with you, and that is totally okay. All right, it's okay. All right, just to process that. And so, what I want to encourage you to do is to try something else. I want you to each morning or night, I want you to jot down 3 things that you are grateful for. 3 things that you're grateful for. All right. And also, we can add to that. How about to write down something that you are excited or enthusiastic about as well? All right. And see what that does for you. See how that serves you. See how that serves your family, and begin to process those things as well. All right. And then I want you to ask yourself, how can I elevate my mindset today? We're talking about that now, being in that place. What thoughts can I choose? Right. What can I think? How can I think differently, or how can I continue to think at a higher place, and support that positive, that growth oriented mindset and outlook on life. All right. So think about those things. As a matter of fact, take some time right now, and even when I'm sharing, let me know what you're hearing, what you're feeling. Let me know what sticks out to you. Put some things in the comment section. Take some notes. Just woosah, what I mean? Just process that right now, and just think about those things. And one may be thinking about this too while you're thinking. Look, that sounds good, and maybe you're in a place, in a posture where you weren't really taking a whole lot of notes. That's fine. Um, and you can always go back and watch this and process this. But one may be thinking, Christian, these are great and these are awesome, but I wish I had a tool to help me continue in this, what we'll say, inner elevation, right? That you're speaking of, that inner elevation. And you might as well just call me a genie. Why? Because your wish is my command. I am excited to share with you something that is truly special to me, to us, to our team. And we're calling this the Inner Elevation Starter Toolkit. All right. We're talking about that Inner Elevation Starter Toolkit. And this toolkit is specifically divine. It is divine. but it's also designed for those of you who are looking to create more clarity, more peace, and more pleasure in your life. And if that's you, then this toolkit is a must have. So you might be thinking, all right, Christian, so what's inside of this toolkit? And so we have some guided reflections and worksheets, prompts to help you dig more deeper into that place of pleasure and peace and what we're talking about and what that means to you. We have daily mindset practices, simple and impactful steps that are going to help you with your intentions and setting your intentions and creating more elevated living and a lifestyle. We have visualization exercises in there to help you connect with that future self and to step into that vision that you've been sitting with. That we have that high vibes resource list where you're going to continue to vibrate at a higher level, being connected to books and to podcasts. As a matter of fact, one of the podcasts that is on that list is actually called High Vibes, and I listen to it on a regular basis. And you have access to all that and even more. All of these things are to help us to align with the journey of inner elevation. And you might be thinking, all right, Christian, well, that sounds good. That's awesome. That's powerful. But there's even more as to why I want to share with you why I feel like this is a must have for you as an emerging leader. All right. This is a toolkit that is way more than just a download. It's a toolkit that is foundational for creating a life filled with purpose, joy, and alignment, right? Think of this as your daily boost toward living a more elevated life. And with this toolkit that you can use every day over and over and over again, you will be equipped to start choosing or continuing to choose pleasure and experience peace that is elevating your mindset every single day. So somebody may say, well, what is the catch? How much does it cost? And here is the kicker. We are gifting this to you. So that's right. All right. This is totally free at this current time. All right. And so if you are ready to go ahead and continue in this journey of inner elevation, and be able to download this Inner Elevation Starter Toolkit, the link will be in the comment section. As well as we'll put it in the description for the podcast. And if you're listening and you desire this gift, then you can also email us at info@elevatedpodcast.com, and we will make sure that you get the link for this amazing gift. All right. So I know that was a mouthful, but it's important for us to stay elevated at this time and beyond just giving you a podcast and beyond just telling you or encouraging you or inviting you. We wanted to provide you with something tangible that can help guide you along this journey. And so make sure that you are getting your toolkit to help you continue to move forward, and don't just keep it to yourself. Share the link with somebody else so they can download it and they can elevate as well. And you can share it on the job. You can share it to whoever you feel called, cultivated, and you feel led to do that with. All right. And so that's it. But it's so much. So go over this, watch this again. Stay tuned, Elevation Nation. I have another exciting announcement. All right, Elevation Nation, because my new book, The Pleasure Is All Mine, is coming soon. Yes, and yes, right? And this is just going to build along. You get your toolkit. You'll be able to go ahead and pre-order this book as well. And so I'm not even going to get into all that is in this, but as you know, Lanisha and I have written several books, but this is the first book that I've written by myself. And I believe that through the stories and through the example and through you able to go through a journey, a true journey, is going to help us go even higher in this elevation journey. All right. So let's continue to operate from the inside out. And I thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Elevated Podcast. Remember to continue to choose pleasure, experience peace, and elevate your mindset every single day. Listen to me. May good great, and awesomeness continue to flow to you and through you, not just today, not just tomorrow, but every single day of your life. Until next time, stay elevated. You're blessed, and we love you. Peace.